Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hi everyone.
Are y'all ready?
No,
I don't know.
no.
Definitely not. Absolutely
I mean, I'm gonna be that person real quick and be like, you brought this on yourselves. You brought this all on yourselves. And hello, everyone who's joining us for our finale. Thank you for being here. And yeah, if you don't mind, please share a good live tweet. Because of the winter holiday, we are not getting a host this week from D&D Live. Or, I'm sorry, D&D Live. Clearly, my brain is on next year already and hopeful. But yes, please share, please host, please hang out. It is going to be a very interesting time.
They say that you sound amazing, but we do not.
Um,
You're low.
well, I I can't. I don't know why you're low because I have everyone as high as they can go in the audio. Uh,
my personal gain up.
Right, I'm gonna turn my personal gain up.
No, all you guys sound fine. Okay.
Hi.
Hey, welcome. Hey, thank you, Steven, for the raid.
Yeah, what's up?
And that just totally interrupted my train of thought. So,
I'm so sorry.
What's the order? How do we do this? We talk about everything. Intros.
yes, I'm just making sure that my mic is all. Well, I don't know what's happening. Why there is a disconnect because we're all on the same thing. So,
It is meant to portray the disconnected feelings and emotions that we are experiencing in prison. It just shows how the rivals' great relationship may have fractured a bit during this time in Revel's End or something.
yeah, start with Brandon. I'll be last, and I'll try to figure out audio. And if we can't fix it, that's what post is for. Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure why this is a thing. We all sound fine on our call. So yeah.
I'll start. Everybody, I'm Stennis. I play Red Leodon. For pronouns for both me and Rinn are.
Oh, that's right. No, I'm sorry. I was listening to the stream. Hi, everybody. It's me. It's LaTia. I play Tahani, the Aarakocra monk who his mouth gets her in trouble sometimes. Both my pronouns and her pronouns are she, her. It's your turn, Shareef.
Hey, I'm Shareef with Barking Dog. I play Shaka, Tiefling Warlock.
Hey y'all, I'm Masood. My pronouns are he, him, and I play your fiscally responsible, ever increasing in push-up total count. I see you. Oh, one day at 20. We'll see. We'll see what the dice roll is. But Gazrick not that. Both our pronouns, like I said, are he, him, and yeah, we're super excited for today. I hope we can get out. We'll see what will happen. And last but not least, Tanya.
Hey, I'm your DM, and apparently today audio troubleshooter. My pronouns are she, her, and I am all your NPCs for today, and I have been all season. Lido is he, him. Sierra is she, her, and our brain in a jar. I don't know. Who knows? It's a brain in a jar. Yeah. All right. So before we do our whoosh and other things, Shareef, talk about who keeps us running.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the people and companies that are supporting us through our run. As where I was working myself for the past. Let's start off with D&D Beyond. So D&D Beyond, we have access to our digital character sheets. We have access to the digital source books, spells, fees, all that good stuff. It's a great way to get a game together quickly and populate it with interesting folks. Make sure to check them out at dndbeyond.com. And we'll also be having a giveaway as we do every week. So if you are in the live chat, look out for a code. podcast or the VOD on YouTube. Missed out on the giveaway, but make sure that you are here Sundays at noon Central. My Twitch.tv/Revel. Check out our live we are Dice Trays and Bolts, provided by Wormwood, WYRM. And if you go to wormwoodgaming.com, rivals, free domestic shipping there. So if you want some Dice Trays, be sure to check them out. And our dice, provided by Level Up Dice. If you use the link bit.ly/LUD Rivals Waterdeep, you can give us credit for the dice openings and programs. So purchase and like give credit for what? Get all kind of goodies from them. So make sure that if you're making a dice purchase, to use that link. At Level Dice, if you want to use minis for your campaign, check out Eldritch Realm at eldritch-realm.com and use the code Rivals D&D, 10% off your minis purchase from there. And if you just want some dope geeky swag, you want a coffee mug, you want a shirt, you want a mask, all that great stuff, make sure to check out Stormcrow at shop.stormcrow.com. And if you use the code RIVALS at that link, you'll be making 15% off your purchase there at Stormcrow. And if you want to sound smooth like Rivals Crew, make sure to check us out at crew.bluemic.com/rivals. And if you make any microphone purchase there, we also get credit. And we're also giving away a Yeti mic today. So if you are in the chat and following us on Twitch, then you are eligible to win a mic, which is what we all use here. I know I use it. And it's like a great mic. So make sure to be here in the chat and following us on Twitch to win that microphone.
Yeah. Question: do you want to try to BRB and fix the audio, or just restart stream? Because I don't know.
BRB for a bit.
Yeah, I would restart. Yeah, I would keep the stream up.
All right, we'll have to cut this later. But hold on.
We don't mind. We'll, like I don't want to speak for everyone else.
I mean, I'm fine. It is what it is. Hi, we're back. We've tried to fix the audio. It is what it is. It's streaming.
Hey, remember, it's not a proper stream unless you have audio issues.
You know what the crazy thing is, though? This is like an episode of Lost now, chat. Okay, you can go back and watch the VOD and see all the hidden Easter eggs you didn't get on your first watch through. Like, just we go through. It's gonna be totally worth it. I promise.
All right. I think that means it's time for the Master of the Whoosh.
Everything I've always wanted. Are you ready for the final whoosh of the season, everyone?
Yeah.
Previously on Rivals of Waterdeep.
Whoosh. All right, we have whooshed. All right, what do you remember from last week, y'all?
We got out of jail successfully.
No. I said actually happened, not your fantasy.
Oh, sorry.
I honestly, I remember. So we montaged the 2 weeks or part of the 2 weeks that Warden Duncan gave us to find Baelish and enact our plan. Tahani watched people and tried to ingratiate herself with some of the people who were on Baelish's side and managed to score a meeting with Baelish and Gazrick, provided that Gazrick was the only one Baelish talked to.
Correct. I think Gazrick had an interesting meeting in the bathroom.
I mean, yeah, the meeting was interesting. The location was normal. The meeting itself was it was difficult for Gosrick, as we saw. One, feeling a lot of guilt for truly leaving his buddy behind. Like Baelish and Gosrick joined the Brotherhood together at the same time. They got put in at the same moment. You know, they were all in there. And when an option came out for Gosrick to get out, and it was a one-person ticket, he took it and left Baelish in Revel's End and all that time. And now there's an opportunity to provide some redemption, and I think that was his intent going into the conversation, but clearly they're engaged. I think it was obvious to see that it was, you know, when you come to apologize, it's not always how you imagine it would turn out, and it wasn't this case. So Baelish was thinking about it. Gosrick was going to go back to the group. Went back to the group, kind of explained what happened, and then a fight broke out between there was not a fight, but there's a argument between Leon, who just got out of the infirmary ward, and Baelish, about Baelish leaving with this sort of offer that he now has.
Excellent. Anything else? Because I think Rinn had an interesting interaction.
I remember Leto and Rinn had a talk. I think it was after dinner or something, where Leto was trying to figure out why Rinn was avoiding him. Rinn kind of explained that he was trying to not get himself into any trouble, and also that he didn't feel like Leto felt the same way as he did. So Rinn was trying to get out of, I guess, that situation. But Leto kind of made it very apparent that if he did not go the route or being with him, that Rinn might be in bigger trouble than he anticipated.
True. And Rinn got a little bass in his voice there.
Let's see what goes on with that.
I just really wanted to do the record scratch. You might wonder how we got here moment when you did that. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let you do that. Anything else?
Yeah, Shaka was trying to learn different games to try to socialize with folks. Some skee ball, try darts again, and he did meet up with someone that he told that Gazrick was usually in back here. So like he was trying to do some kind of exchange, trying to get this person to trust him. All this skerfuffle.
Skerfuffle? I'm sorry, I will need the whole etymology of skerfuffle.
Well, it's Latin background.
Mm-hmm.
Kerfuffle, modified American English term, scuffle, I'd imagine.
Exactly.
Or skirmish, depending
Or
on
skirmish.
what region of America you're from.
Yeah, like it has origins.
It's a soda pop thing, kind of like.
Yes, exactly. Soda pop there.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna let that go.
When I moved to Wisconsin, I was really worried that everybody was saying I'd have to adjust myself.
And if they and
I
if
assumed that everybody in the Midwest said pop. Because everybody I had met from the Midwest.
yeah, because I think your time in the rec room could have gone much differently. Yeah, the sass. Wow, Avernus has really changed you, Shaka.
Yeah, he has come back very different. He's been changed in general, but also the fact that he's like chill. He's really chill. He's like literally chill. He's a little different.
I mean, you could have said no and stayed back at Troll Skull Manor.
Stayed asleep. I could have just waking up.
Well, remember, Celeste wasn't there. She had shit to do. Well, there's so many wrong things I could say right now. But if that's it, we're gonna pick up where we left off with Valish leading you all to a meeting, and all of you, mind you, not just Dahani. So
Yeah, I actually didn't cover that part. So before we actually move into it, after Baelish and Gazrick had their meeting, Baelish revealed himself to us, and oh no, you did. You mentioned the Skerfuffle with Leon. Never mind. I'm gonna be quiet. Never mind. I'm just gonna. I Dahani.
it's okay. Dahani's having a hard day. She the cold is affecting her. We put it like that. All right. So Valish and his folks lead you down to a much bigger room than the one where the aforementioned skerfuffle happened. Where you know that we're never getting rid of that word now, Shareef, just so you know.
Great word. It's the key word to give away.
Yes. Yes. So there is a giveaway happening with skerfuffle as your keyword. Good luck. And it's a nice room. It's actually warm considering that you are in Revel's End. I almost called Revenant's End. My brain went to Dragon Age. And there's like a small, not a feast, but there's food out. So it's like if you got to go to the mid-management level lunch meeting versus the cubicle farm lunch meeting. There's no wine or beer, but there is like nice charcuterie and bread that is not stale. And Valish and his folks, the ones that are still with him, they have nicer drink It may be wine, it may be ale, you're not sure. But he's not sold on y'all yet, and he's especially giving Gazrick the stink eye. So he lets you in. He points at the food on the sideboard. He's like, I know the food here is not all that great. Being who I am has advantages. And we're civilized people. We can eat and talk. Please, enjoy yourself.
Thank you, and it's nice to see where the quality ingredients of the kitchen are ending up. Perfect.
He just gives you a look of Gazrick like, keep talking.
I do not. And I take a plate of the charcuterie board.
Yes, I don't know if charcuterie actually exists in Faerun, but why not?
Does now.
Yes, no one at WotC, please come find me. I just said it was happening.
Oh, well, actually, if we make create food and water to just create charcuterie, that could be a new spell. I hope.
Yes. Create charcuterie.
Yeah, so anyone who writes for WotC, Dan Dillon, when you see this, please add it. Please don't yell at us. So everyone sits down, you have your food, you have your drink, and Dahani, you are relieved that this room is actually warm.
Nice.
So, Valish avails himself of the nice food and drink. And he's looking at you all like, well, you're the one that said you had an offer for me. What's the deal?
I was around at the rest of the folks here after eating a little bit of food and putting the plate down. That's what I was saying. Well, the vessel has offered a way out, and we would like to honor that in the Arcane Brotherhood in making your safe release from this. Well, I mean, I was going to say a horrid, atrocious sort of prison, but honestly, it's very nice in here. So just, back into the land of freedom.
And what is it exactly she wants in exchange for this freedom?
I do not know.
I believe she that you had some information for her that like she was going through some kind of trouble in her time as your help her with that. So like she didn't get any specifics, but I'm assuming that y'all have
And Valish just looks at you, Shaka. Of some sort? What do you mean of some sort?
Well, I don't know the details. I don't want to make any assumptions. But she did call you out by name. She's dealt with tons and tons of people as a representative. I feel like you had to stick out for a reason.
I asked you a question. What do you mean by that?
I look to Shaka.
Okay, Gazrick.
Yeah, and I would look back and say, what my friend here is trying to say is they're not looking to get Leon out to Revel. They're not looking to get one of the grunts out. They're looking for you because you are important. And you know this clearly. The question now is whether or not you want to get out.
And he just smiles and he's like, what, and leave my charming accommodations and free charcuterie boards?
Shorts are better than all of this. Like, truly, and I mean this, and I like look at the group like, your freedom is worth more than anything else. And I look at him and I want to make a persuasion check. Like looking at him like as a merchant.
Sure. He's got something to say to that because he's just wondering like when you fail to detect sarcasm, but please feel free. All right.
It's a sweet 12. It's a 10 plus 2 sweet 12.
Oh, you so fail. You so fail. And he just leans back and looks at you. He's like, your time on the outside has clearly blunted your wit. You can't tell sarcasm when you hear it anymore, can you?
Honestly, at this point, I don't know how to answer in a way that makes me still seem no, no, it's kind of lost it. It's been weird. I've been really honest. I've been like an honest salesman, and it's a different vibe. And you're right. I am rusty at it. And I'm not ashamed to say that it was a fair price.
Seems like you need to be in here more than I need to be out.
Personal opinion, I would disagree. But you know, there is a solution where we both are out, and I owe you a life debt that you may call upon. Obviously, you still need to pay me. How long has it been? Like 16 years?
I think so.
Yeah. There's like obviously nothing can pay 16 I'm here. That's part of it. Truly, any other ask. Oh, also, my friend might have some more information about your objective and your need. And I'm going to
Hattie has been very focused on her charcuterie. She lifts her head up and oh, yeah. Hold on. It's here somewhere. And she just starts like, it looks like she's cleaning herself, but she's like pecking at her feathers, and she like pulls a note out from like way deep in her feathers, and it's like folded like 6 times, and it's like this small. And she like unfolds it, and she hands it over.
Baelish takes it, unfolds it, and is just like, he's looking at, because he's looking at you like, your reputation precedes you.
If I could smile, I would.
Oh, he didn't say it. That's just how he looked at you.
Oh no, but it's still like as we make like eye contact, I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's giving me some kind of eyebrow. Like I try to, do a bird smile. However, that works with a beak.
I don't know. Huh. Now I'm wondering, like, is it like the dog that everyone uses when they do a pun and the dog's mouth is open and looks like it's smiling?
Yeah. It's just like that.
And he's just like, so he reads DePass's letters, like, good terms. He folds it. He only folds it a couple times and puts it in a pocket. So, since you've all lied your way in here, it's not like we can just walk out the front door. What's your plan there?
about that. I think it involves us going for a little bit of a walk along the cliffside, and then taking a leap into the air.
I beg your pardon.
So I have this spell, and I explain to him walk and what it can do, and the idea of us. You and up to 10 willing creatures you can see within range assume the gaseous form of the creature. So I was like, we turn into balls of gas, we slip through the gates or up and over them.
kind of like everyone wins here.
Hmm.
The warden, it looks like maybe because of the scuffle fell off the edge. Us and the right people. No.
A scuffle with who, though?
Oh, come on. Think about the story, my friend. Your old LaTia from back when, 16 years, 16 years, and you're captured again. You once made me for what I have done. It's a great. My friend Rinn here honestly could write a book about it. It would sell probably pretty well. We could do that, but I don't know if I'm in the mood to write another book. It's been a very tiring experience here. I need a break. Well, I'll put this in my backlog. Okay, thank you. See, there'll be a book about our escape. It'll be a story. Who knows? Someone might even turn it into one of those, traveling shows that they do with the vaudeville. You know what I mean. The bards will sing of it. Yes.
I don't know if I want bards to sing of it. But I want out of this place. I want out of it right now.
Let's do it.
Next time we have wreck, let's make our way outside, draw enough attention, and try to get out. The issue is, I look around. I need a minute. It takes a little bit to cast the spell, and I can get fire, but I need holy water. Do you have that here? I look at very much in his reserve somewhere, or can you make that here? Bring that to a priest or a cleric and do rings.
There are, but what makes you think we have something to make holy water?
Well, we have water. Cleric. Let's not. I don't. It doesn't need to be special. It just needs to be someone. Our only paladin is no longer here. I would ask them, but unfortunately.
We got dead here anyway.
Yeah,
So
that's what's upsetting.
We'll see, but it may take a few hours if someone can scare that up.
A few hours is fine.
Then, my friend, the rest is on your skin. The sooner your buddy can, colleague can scrounge them together, then the sooner we can make our move. So, was it just dinner right now?
Lunch. It was lunch.
Cool. Then I say, all right, then maybe after dinner during our leftover recreation time, we find our way outside. That'll give you time to, in whatever way, prepare and say your goodbyes. It'll give us time to get ready.
1 second. I think I figured out what's going on.
Oh, yes.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, so like while everyone is kind of sitting there in a bit of a stare down,
Baelish pondering over the choice.
Yeah, exactly. He's like pondering over the offer. Shaka, he looks at Rinn, Dahani, and Gazrick. And he basically says, "Is it that? Like, do we got this? Like is like, you know, like he's kind of like, is that all we have to do? You know, and he's just kind of looking there at like, you know, in like bemusement, I guess.
yeah. I mean, I guess we just have to be prepared for anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, the quicker we get out of here, the better. So,
Yeah, I would like to get
Mhm.
out of here. This adventure has not been one of my favorites. So I think the sooner we get out, we get back to the manor, and then I'm sure Celise is worried about us too. So
Are you sure about that?
I would hope
I was about
so.
to say that.
I would hope so. We just like
Oh,
love.
I'm sorry. That was the voice of Celise that you didn't really hear. But
But in your gut, like a part of your
Like our
question is like, are we
our subconscious.
Yeah.
at least.
Right.
yeah,
Well, Dahani continues to enjoy delicious charcuterie if no one stops her.
no one's gonna stop you.
I think as Vilish is looking it over, Gazrick's gonna take maybe a little bit of another bite of the food, but eventually be like, well, here it is. You know everything we do. I'll be outside with my friends after dinner. We hope to see you there.
Outside where?
Towards the back end of the a layout, like sort of the outdoor like rec area where the people go for like walks outside in the cold, and talk about the side that's like the closest to the edge, and I imagine there's like no one has ever escaped from Revel's End, partly because like anyone who tried to like just like get over the wall and like climb was doomed. Like that, like you can't climb that. It's too cold to be an aerocroaker, I imagine, to normally fly through it. Like the weather and stuff would affect you too much. So like I imagine if we just like go up and over, and I explained that to him, like, so if we were just like sort of at the edge, we can meet at this part, somehow get ourselves up and over. That's not as much of my concern. We can sort of, as long as we're at the edge of the cliff and let others see us.
Well, that's all well and good, but right after dinner might be a bit suspicious because I'm sure people saw you follow us to this meeting. I say, let's say more for a witching hour. I'll make sure that the appropriate guard is on your floor and that your cells are somehow left unlocked.
Thank you. Yes, that would be even more inconspicuous, particularly because we do not have that kind of pull here in this jail.
I wonder why.
Well, then, Baelish, I believe our business is concluded.
No,
For now.
not quite.
Ooh.
There's still the issue of you, Madam Aarakocra, who grievously harmed my lieutenant.
Yes. I told him he didn't want to fight me.
The question is, why was there a fight even on the table when merely what they wanted to do was talk to you?
Like, she makes eye contact with Shaka, like,
Yeah.
do we?
I think your lieutenant is he in the room, by the way, or no?
If we're talking about Leon, no. 'Cause
Yeah.
remember, Leon basically he
got
wants
smacked by that metal.
he got like Leon. While now keep in mind, while Valish did make an entire show out of beating the snot out of Leon, they have been in the joint a long time together. And he is planning on maybe getting him out, although Leon is still about that prison life and trying to be king of the castle.
Yeah.
So he's going to give him like a okay, here's your last shot. Here's an offer you can't refuse talk. And if that doesn't work, then Leon's on his own in the joint. But he's still his friend. Mm-hmm. But Valish is like, I'm sick of prison. You can stay here and kick rocks and be king of the castle. Deuces, I'm out.
Oh. All right. Well, Shaka says, I mean, we were kind of put in an awkward position. They sequestered us in this room, and they outnumbered us, and they were threatening us.
Threatening you.
Yeah. So like Tahani kind of had no choice. Like we didn't just.
And he just holds up a hand. He's like, the problem here is I've gotten the whole story from everyone in the room, and you were not threatened.
I mean,
well, they would want you to think that because Leon got.
Well, here's the thing, Mr. Valish. We just wanted to find you so that we could get you out, and Leon was like, "No."
Well, that's his job to protect me. He doesn't know who you are.
And I took that personal. No, she doesn't really say that.
I was like, are you sure you were doing so well?
I see the simmering rage in Tani's eyes, and I say, and hey, man, I don't know Leon like you know Leon, but it seems like he has a hot head, and clearly I would not be surprised if he used his own pull to make sure the story was told a certain way. I can tell you right here, I know the rumors are going around that this is a quote-unquote murder bird in our hallways. Very unlikely. Honestly, it's only people who hit first.
And he just kind of gives you that, okay, you're really trying this with me. Look, like, you really? That's what we're doing?
Look, he seemed more interested in making sure that he felt nice and, big and powerful than actually listening to what we had to say. Like, he was more invested in his time here in prison than actually, like, I know that y'all are friends and everything, but, like, wouldn't you want the best for your friend? And, like, we just want to help you out, like, legit. And he didn't seem to be about that life. So.
And he just looks at you and he's like, so you all helping this one out, as he points to Gazrick, think that I was supposed to take the word of people in league with the one person here who's betrayed me and escaped Revel's End over someone who's been here who has literally saved my life more than once, wanting the best for me. Without this option, and he waves the paper at you, you all would have been thrown off of Revel's End long ago. And I would have gone about my day in charge of my own kingdom. But I'm bored here and I'm tired of the bad food. I'm tired of the cold. So if not for Speaker Shane's generous offer, we would not be having this meeting. I hope this is clear to you. This does not make us friends. It makes you allies of convenience.
Cool. I don't think we're looking for best friends here. We're just trying to get a job done.
Right.
So like we can do this and then be off on our, on our way, and we can do our own thing. So.
I'm surprised no one has come to visit you, Sir Tiefling, as word has reached us that you're a bit of a narc.
Well, can't believe everything you hear. There's definitely some bullies in this prison that have been trying to bully me.
Bully you?
False rumors. Yeah, like they're trying to spread false rumors. Make fun of me for not being that good at some of these prison games that are being played here. But I've been making it through. I've been making it through with.
And at that, Valus just gives the heartiest laugh you've ever heard out of anyone in this whole shenaniganry. He's like, "Do you really think anyone in this prison cares enough about you to go to the trouble of making up rumors? You, all of you, are insignificant in the greater ecosystem of Revel's End. No one cares about you here. I don't care about you. I'm only doing this to get out. So I think you need to understand that your woe is me tale of everyone's out to get me in a prison you don't belong in is not really going to fly." And he looks at Rinn, who's been very quiet. "You, I believe Leto has had his eye on you. Are you going... Are you just going to abandon him?"
Ooh, that's a question. So Ren is like thinking back to what Leto says, and he knows that he has to continue seeming like he has interest in going with him. So Ren is like, I would think of nothing less but to, bring him with.
Bring him with? He's not a lost puppy.
Well, to come along the journey with me, because I will be obviously not be here still. So.
Well, unlike you, he has leave to come and go as he pleases. He is an employee, not a prisoner.
Yeah, but once they find out that he was up to something, I don't think he'll be able to just come in and out as he pleases.
Who said they would find out?
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen then. Yeah. Just always have to think of all possibilities and options of what could happen.
It's a miracle all of you have lived as long as you have, from what I've seen.
We're actually pretty good on the outside of prison. It's just being in here kind of makes us look a little strange. But
once again, I'm not going to apologize for being soft in prison. It's a thing that happens. But honestly, I'm okay with it.
And Valus he just shakes his head. He's like, "Oh, I wasn't talking about just in prison. From what I've seen, I'm surprised you all have lived as long as you have. Because, I don't know, telling everyone your very rudimentary and actually ill thought out plan is not a way to get ahead and make friends."
Yeah, but you'll be surprised how much being direct with your intent in the outside world will pay off.
Well, it certainly didn't do me any favors, but that's neither here nor there, and I tire of the conversation. We have a few hours until dinner, and yet more until our rendezvous. Mm-hmm. Once more from the top, what is our plan? And then I will make sure to not be seen with you at the dinner hour.
And I'm just gonna say it out of character and say that like Gazrick explains it, but just I want to make sure it's right by everyone else too. But we're gonna wait until the witching hour, midnight, and a guard will let us out of our cells. We're gonna make our way to the edge of the wreck area that's along a cliffside, and then I'm gonna cast Windwalk with the holy water that's provided, and fire, which I imagine like either Rinn or Shaka can generate fire in some capacity. And after a minute, cast Windwalk and have us disappear. Just like fly off back towards back towards Bryn Shander as a group.
All right, that sounds feasible. And if you can take 10, counting you 5 and myself, that leaves what, 3 spots, 4 spots?
Yes, us it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you want to take Leon, so that's 6. There's 4 spots left, but
well, including me, there's 6.
Yes, absolutely. I was counting 6. I was counting you, of course. Then there's 4 spots left, but I'll also be honest, man. How big of
there's a reason we're doing it at midnight, right? Like, who really do you need, and who really benefits?
Well, I wasn't trying to fill out the roster with all 10. There was just one more I wanted to bring.
Okay. They cool?
Yeah, they went out. And beside, I wouldn't leave them behind. Not when I care for them.
Thankfully, you have an opportunity not to. And that's all Gazrick says. I think at that moment, he stands up and just sort of tries to make his way out.
All right. We'll see you. We'll see you when the crow flies, as they say.
Hey, but before we go, shouldn't we? Who is this other person? Who is this person that you want us to bring?
Are you asking?
I don't care. I
Like
literally
just a random person.
I don't care, man. It's his.
I
deal.
care.
If that's what the. Oh, God.
Valish, who is this other person?
You're nosy, aren't you?
I mean, we're putting ourselves on the line here. Like, I feel like everyone in this room I have an idea of, but I think it's fair to at least have an idea. I mean, I don't need a name or anything. Just
I'll be honest. I get why these rumors about being a narc are. So I get it. I get it now. Just be chill. Just be cool, dude. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to operate this thing like it's a Waterdeep taxi, just like a Waterdeep Uber pool, you know, I mean, we can, but okay. I guess we don't need to know. We'll just walk random people.
No. If you need to
everyone
know,
hop
you
on.
can need to know. It's fine, man. I'm just saying.
Everyone pay your fare, hop on, you know.
So since you did that, Shaka,
yes,
you have to pass. You have annoyed Valish so much. He was trying. He didn't have to approach all of you. And he just wanted to get out with someone who was important to him beside Leon. Leon's a business associate. And Leon doesn't seem to realize if he gets left behind, he'll get murdered. So there's someone near and dear to his heart that he wanted to just not leave in prison. Someone that's been allowed to be his cellmate and has become the cellmate of his heart. And now you have become nosy. Mm-hmm. And he is going to have a word for you. Mm-hmm. So he stands up and leans over. And granted, you're still a little taller than him because you're a tiefling. Mm-hmm. But he leans down. And I want to do an intimidation check against you.
Okay.
Also, I'm using my Swarovski D20, so hopefully it'll bring me luck.
So heavy. It's
a chunker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently it needs to warm up because I did not roll well. What did you get? What did you get, Shareef?
Am I doing a charisma roll?
Is it a charisma save?
Yeah, see what your charisma save is.
16.
Yeah. You don't intimidate him as in he's not afraid of you. But he just stares you down and he's like, one, it's none of your business. Two, if not for the fact that people would ask where you were, you would meet an accident between dinner and our meeting time. You should learn discretion is the better part of valor, Sir Tiefling. Now I think all of you need to go.
Okay. Begin to walk out.
I'll walk out after Shaka.
Who's left?
I think I was by the door anyways, so I meant, yeah.
So Rinn, you're the last one to go.
Mm-hmm.
Rinn, as you leave and before the door fully shuts, you just hear like the slap of a metal tray bouncing off the wall. He is so furious, but he didn't want to lose his cool and let Shaka see that he made him that angry and upset. But you hear, you know, like when someone's having a total tantrum, but they don't want anyone to see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he's at. So, Rinn, you did hear that. If you would like to relay that information or leave it be.
I'm gonna leave it be for now.
I see you, Shareef, in the chat, by the way. Yeah. Hell did you no favors, sir. Hell did you no favors. All right, so you have time between now and dinner. What are you doing?
I'm prepping my spells. I'm just truly just like going through my spell book. This is both like Gazrick truly just sitting down and like digging through and just organizing what he actually has available, what like materials he has to be able to cast the spells that he needs to cast. Like what he can actually do while being in prison and away from like his pockets and everything that used to have the random assortment of things. Yeah. And that's what Gazrick's up to.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
Like Rinn is like, I guess he's sitting and meditating in the cell about like what's gonna happen next, to just making like hoping that it doesn't go wrong.
Okay. Is your door open or closed?
We'll have the door open.
All right. Before I get to Rinn, what is everyone else doing?
I am going to see if I could find some holy water.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just I'm mainly just looking for, I guess, some cup or some I'm mainly looking for that, like some sort of like receptacle, so a cup or something. So that, and some water.
Okay, so you're looking for holy water in a prison, just to be clear.
Well, so what Shaka remembers is he interacted with the individual that freely admitted to having illegal contraband in the prison. So Shaka's like, you know what? Maybe this person, will have a lead on some holy water.
So wait, is this the same person that said you were a narc?
Yes, same person that said I was a narc, but and but Shaka thinks that this person's vested interest in continuing their contraband trade will, override that.
So I just want to ask, out of character, how much of a reputation do you think Shaka actually has in this prison? Because you're talking like Shaka is the big man on campus. I'm just checking.
He's not big man on campus. He interacted with this person already, so he figures that he can, he can talk to them, or at least try to talk to them. It might not be successful, but
just checking. Just checking. Dahani, what are you doing, oh birdie one?
Oh, me. Is it free roaming hours? Can we do whatever?
Yeah, until dinner.
Until dinner. I think, does Revel's End have like a chapel? Prisons have chapels, don't they?
Some do.
I ain't been to prison, so why are you asking me?
Yeah. They usually have some kind of space.
I mean, there's an open worship area, yes.
Okay, so Dahani is just gonna walk about. Like, she actually has not done a walkabout, so she's just gonna wander the prison, and like if she comes across a chapel or an open worship area, she's going to hang out in there for a little bit, and look for like a fountain, because by her logic, any water that exists in a worship area is holy. So she's going to, if there is like a fountain, she's just going to get some water from the fountain and just do her walkabout, end up in the rec room, and probably go through monk forms or something.
Okay. Pretty sure that's not how holy water works, but okay. I want to go back to Rinn. So Rinn,
Okay.
while you're sitting there meditating, you hear footsteps that stop in your very open cell door. What do you do?
Who's there? Because his eyes are still closed.
Who do you think?
Oh. Hello. Welcome to my meditation hour.
You know that there are open spaces that are better suited to it than your cell.
Yeah, but I picked this place because it's the coldest and there's less noise. Gets me focused.
You're the strangest elf I've ever met. Cold usually does not help with meditation, but all right. So have you thought any more on my offer? Leto asks.
I mean, I have no choice but to follow your lead on this.
Are you sure? Because when you walked away, you didn't seem so convinced.
Well, at this point, I rather not go against someone who obviously is more powerful than I am.
It doesn't always have to be about power, you know.
Let's just leave it at power for now. Just leave it at power.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about. Get your mind out of the gutter. Well, to make this convincing, I think we should be seen together after dinner.
Okay.
I will drop by your table once the dinner hour's over. Is that amenable to you?
Yes, I will wait for you to come by the table and I will follow your lead from there.
Good. I like it when people are obedient. See you later. And when you look away to go back to meditating, you actually hear a clank land next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a set of keys with a note attached.
Can I look at it? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
You find keys. Will you take them?
Yes, I will take those keys.
And the note, because you're both elves, is written in Elvish. Would you like to roll to see what the note says?
Yes.
Just perception.
Okay. 15.
The note is it's odd because it's not quite an apology, but it's also a little bit bossy in how Leto has written you. And basically it's a set of keys that will let you all kind of unlock yourselves from the inside or use them before you go in, and your cell will remain unlocked after dinner. So the instruction is to pass them to one of your friends because you'll be busy after dinner, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So don't leave those keys, otherwise it's going to be a hard night for the rivals.
Oh, I will have those keys ready. All
right. So time passes, unless anyone has anything specific they'd like to do. Unless Shaka, you would like to go find this supposed black market dealer that you think you're going to woo.
No, I mean we don't have to role play it out if
oh no, we do.
We do.
Oh no, we do.
Well, yeah, I mean Shaka is definitely trying to find this person. Yeah, he's just kind of walking around the prison looking for this person in like the common spaces.
All right, give me a perception check, and I will tell you when or if you run across them.
All right. Perception. Okay, that is a 6.
There are people out there.
A lot of people. They all look like they could be doing something illegal.
You know your nickname is now Shaka the Narc, right?
Yeah, I feel like it. As Shaka's coming, people like look at him and like look away, or
it'd be like, we can't talk around.
They don't want to be associated with this guy. Yeah. So I mean, so like Shaka walks around for a bit, can't find this person, and just heads back to his cell.
I was going to give you another chance to look, but okay then.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to look again?
I mean, I'll take. Yeah. So like this was when I was walking around. As I'm walking back, I take another look. So let me do another perception.
All right. Hopefully your die will be a little more forgiving, or the DM.
16.
That's better. You do manage to catch sight of that person you were looking for.
Okay. So
Please go role play this out of you trying to convince them.
Is he alone, or is he with other people?
Yeah, he's alone. He's just chilling. He's got like a book and a mug of something hot. He's chilling.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna sit down next to him. But like kind of look like I'm, just like sitting there and not really saying anything, and then I'm gonna like whisper, "Hey, remember me?"
And he rolls his eyes. He's like, "How could I forget?"
Hey, I know you're into some sales at the prison. I was wondering if you could help me get something.
Why would I help you get anything?
Because that's your rep, right? Like you get people stuff.
Yeah, but I usually have to like them first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were a business person. I thought you were. I didn't know it was a relationship-based thing.
Well, now you know. And if you know, then you know.
Okay. Well, okay. So he's talking. So Shaka gets up and leaves because he really thought that this person might be just on a strict transactional basis. So Shaka's going to get up and walk away.
Oh, well. You tried.
He did try and walk back to his cell.
Poor Shaka. Shaka can't get no play. That should have been the episode title. All right.
He's not a prison dude.
I mean, none of you really belong there. Well, maybe Gazrick, but in another life. So, time passes quietly. You all do your thing. And are we just going to say that Rinn passes the keys as instructed? Or are you going to wait till you're actually at dinner?
I think we get the keys at this point because he knows we're trying to get out. So
okay, so everyone else roll a d6 and tell me what you get.
Or one of the rivals d6s.
Oh yeah, I should look. 6.
I got a 5.
I got a 2.
Unfortunately, your narc has the keys. Pray that you all actually make it out of there. Shaka is the recipient of the keys because actually it makes more sense because you were in the same cell anyway.
Yeah.
You head down to dinner, and things seem a little strange. Not like super obvious, but there's the people that were really down with Valish are now visibly sitting closer to where you all can see them, kind of eyeball them. Basically, you can point out the people that were in the meeting. And then Leon's crew, it's almost like they've been put in the back of the cart, and they're looking a little grumpy. Leon's nowhere to be found, but the rest of his crew, they're just giving y'all the stink eye, like, we got something for them after dinner. But otherwise, it's more or less peaceful. Are you trying to talk to anybody? Trying to do any last transactional things before?
So my question for Gazrick, are you in the bathroom or are you sitting with us?
I go see Susan, and then I go eat in the bathroom. Yes. Yeah.
Are you staying in the bathroom the whole time?
Should I? Well, I looked to the group and asked them, like, is there any need for me? Like, I like it. It's actually nice and quiet to eat in there. It's not weird. It's just nice. It's quiet.
Yeah, Gazrick, but this is hopefully our last time here.
It's gonna be so loud. Okay, yeah.
Also, Gazrick, I don't know how to tell you this, but it's really weird.
How is it weird? How is it weird? It's so quiet. It's clean. You know it's clean because you see them leave right beforehand. That's like the cleanest it's gonna. Fine. It's fine. It's cool. We'll eat. I'm still gonna go talk to Susan though, because man, what can technically? So I want to ask you guys: can we get Susan on the way out? You know what I mean? Like that would be nice. I
mean, we don't even know she wants to leave.
She is wasted in that kitchen. Do you imagine if she had a shop of her own, the amount of quality of food that she could create?
Yeah, but also though, we don't know if she wants to go, and if she doesn't want to go, and you ask her, and she tells on us, then we're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of relationship that you have with her. I mean, if you really think that she would be down and be secretive, I mean, you haven't seen her in 20 years, like, you know.
I trust Susan to keep a secret. That's not the issue. It's me more or less. Look, I've had a lot of guilt about Valish, like leaving him behind. So like getting the ability to right that wrong sounds great. I don't want to lose sleep over something else I do wrong in the process. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to round my bases the right way.
I'll leave it up to. I mean, you have the relationship. I will leave it up to you.
I can be subtle. You know me. I can be subtle. I'll try it.
Gazrick, no. Gazrick, you are a great friend, and you have words and you say them, and sometimes those words are not good words.
What?
Like,
I'm number one salesman in Rivalry. We know this.
You are the only salesman.
Yes,
in the Rivals.
Still number one.
That when you're the only one, number one doesn't matter.
Oh, that was deep.
We are getting this done by the skin of our teeth, and I don't think that. Well, I don't have teeth, but I don't think that this is a good idea. I mean, really, think about it. Like, every single time that you've mentioned Susan, you've mentioned only that the quality of her cooking is okay and you can do better. I don't think that's kind of like the relationship
That's not true. I've been saying I can tell when she's there because it's better than everybody else. That's like, you know, I learned everything I know through Susan. She was the chef that taught me all my tricks.
Okay, maybe I misheard you then, but still.
Yeah.
I just don't think this is a good idea. Like, we're so close, and one bad thing can ruin it. And what if that bad thing is Susan?
Okay, you're right. I'll send her letters more often and do it on my own time. You're absolutely right.
Okay,
let's go have our last meal here, huh?
All right.
Now, my question is, did you all say that loud enough for other people to hear you?
No, we're quiet. We're being mindful of our
whisper silence.
We're like whispering over as people are running in. Yeah.
Okay, just checking because y'all have done other weirder things.
That's true. We have given away our entire secret plan before, so I understand that. Yeah, that's a worthy question.
Just checking. Just checking. All right. So, Rinn, how are you feeling about dinner, knowing what awaits you? Or not knowing what awaits you?
I don't know. Rinn is kind of like in a weird mood. Like he's feeling like some sort of like, I don't know, clarity moment where it's like he feels that something might be ending. So that is why he's gone with Leto. But he is just like feeling like, okay, I'm gonna have to follow what he says and hope for the best. So he's just patiently waiting for Leto to come to the table. So he just is like sitting at the table, like eating, but like obviously looking to see like where Leto will be coming from.
Okay, do any of you notice how strange Rinn is acting? Well, strange for Rinn, I should say.
I mean, I notice he's acting strange. I don't think anything about it though.
Do you say anything?
I'm just. Yeah, I reach. So I just look over at him, but also at like everybody and say, we're all nervous, but we can do this.
Rinn, are you eating?
Huh?
Are you eating?
Oh, yeah, I'll have some in a second. I have a lot on my mind right now.
Okay, I'm concerned about you because your fitness has been at the forefront of your mind ever since you started becoming concerned about your fitness, and now you're not eating. I'm concerned. Are you okay?
I'm also very concerned about what's gonna happen.
Well, it's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine, man. It's gonna be okay.
I hope so.
And can I be surprisingly grim with you?
Well,
It's
sure.
better, if I was to die, I'd rather die with a full stomach. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna eat up.
Well, I don't plan on dying, so I'm gonna slowly eat.
Yeah, my mom always said, make sure you wear clean underwear, because you never know what can happen. So it's kind of like the equivalent, the tiefling equivalent of the full stomach.
I mean, can't you just do both? Full stomach and clean underwear?
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, if you have access to linens and good food. We live in a time where people don't shower every day, so it's a little tough.
I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Go back to eating our food. It's surprised why people don't think we just naturally fit in. I really don't get it.
Yeah, I will say that comment about the underwear, everyone hears. or like I would like everyone to hear it, I guess, or I could roll on it or something. But that one, like Shaka's kind of excited about. He says it a little louder than everything else.
I'm so sorry. So while this scintillating conversation is happening, scintillating and intellectual conversation is going on. Everyone's bustling about you, and you notice Valish and his cohort get up and give you a very slight kind of dip of the head to indicate that, they're going their way and you should go yours. And after Valish and company have left the room, poor Rinn, you just feel a slight hand on your shoulder. Do you do anything?
Yeah, I turn around to see who it is, because that could be any hand technically.
Interesting. If someone did that to me, I'd break their wrist first. But I mean, you know who it is now that you turned around.
Oh. Hello, Leto.
Hello, prisoner 5678309.
Oh, I'm supposed to go along with that. Oh yes. What do you need from me?
We need to have a conversation about some of your antics since you've come to Revel's End. Call it a overdue meeting.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready. Let's talk about my situations.
Well, follow me. We're not going to have this in the lunchroom.
All right. So Rinn like gets up and starts walking with Leto.
And Leto leads you forward with a light touch to a light press to the small of your back, and looks at the others, and he just gives them that kind of grin that little kids give when they know they're wrong and they're in trouble. But what can you do? The damage is done.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So, what are you all doing in your remaining hours of not freedom? And are you going to wonder what's happening to Rinn?
I mean, okay, so what's the look on your face like, Rinn, as you walk away from us?
I would say it would be a look of worry.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'm gonna look at everybody else and I'm gonna be like, are we just gonna let that happen?
I'm gonna follow.
You're gonna follow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, if Rinn is looking worried, I'm definitely gonna follow.
Okay. Anyone else following?
I don't know. It's Leto, which I know is our man, so I feel like I'm a little concerned about it. But this is out of the plan, so I think
Gazrick is trying to talk in between bites.
it's really he's really processing what's happening.
He's really Masood is really method acting today.
That's what do you want me to be like Danny DeVito and peel nagging while I do a monologue? I'll do it. I'll work on it.
Nice.
Active mess hall. Please.
Dude, I got these great. They're fresh donuts. I don't know what to tell you. They're phenomenal. Dinner tonight's amazing. But I think Gazrick stays. I think Shaka goes, and once again, like I want to look at the other group. I think I don't want to draw any more attention to this situation than I think that's Gazrick's sort of mindset around it.
When you say other group, do you mean the group that's with
Leon's buddies that were like still at the table? Because Baelish is crew bounced, right? So,
right.
Like, Leon's buddies that are at the table. I want to keep an eye on them as they watch sort of this interaction occur.
Okay. Anyone else feeling unsure about Leto's motivations?
Is it possible for me to make eye contact with Leto as they leave and make like an insight check?
You would have to do it fairly quickly because he basically did the come with me and then started to walk off.
Okay.
So you could try it, but it'll have to be a high.
I want to try. And I'm going to use my digital dice have not been kind to me. But this one is. That's a 25.
Yeah.
And what were you doing? An insight? Yeah, an insight. Just to, like, get a look at like I want to try and make real quick eye contact with Leto and like, is this cool? Like, is this part of the plan? Like,
he just stares you down and he gives you like a little sly wink, like, we're good. We're good.
Okay. Then yeah, I will also stay. Like, if Shaka's gonna get up still, I'm gonna be like, I think this is okay. Like, we don't have anything else to do before tonight, so as long as Rinn's back by tonight.
Well, so you don't. I mean, he just looked a little distressed.
Oh no! And so quick out of character. If Shaka wants to follow, Shaka can follow.
I'm not gonna stop Shaka from following.
Yeah. No, I am.
Shaka's big narc energy. We know this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, like he hears Tahani and says, you know, maybe I'm overreacting, but I mean, we're both in the same cell. I don't think it's strange for me to follow if I don't even know if they're going back to the cell, but I'm going to walk in that general direction.
Yeah.
And if they don't go to the cell, they don't go to the cell. But I don't know. Things just look a little weird, and I want to make sure that this plan goes perfectly. So
Okay.
Okay.
It's not gonna look like I'm following because I'm just going.
Are you
back
sure?
to where my cell is, right? So.
Oh no, you're gonna have to do stealth checks.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason for you
Do it,
to have
Shaka.
got up when they left. There was absolutely no reason to.
Is that what Leto says to me?
Oh no. I'm saying that to you as the GM.
Like, yeah. I'm down.
All right, so especially if you got up immediately as soon as they walked away,
Well, I am trying to. I'm not walking side by side with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to be a little bit behind. But yes,
what does the dice say?
I'm ready to roll. Okay, let me roll stealth.
I love how a big, tall ass tiefling is trying to be stealthy in a prison lunchroom. I love this.
Ooh, well, that is a natural one.
Oh, really? Oh, so that is a fail, my friend. That is a epic fail.
Your shoelaces are tied to each other and to the table. How? No one knows.
I did it. It was me.
Tahani did it to keep you from leaving, and you didn't notice. So I mean, I know many ways that this could go badly, but I want you to act out how this epic fail happens.
Sure.
Now, keep in mind, crowded mess hall. And it's going to be literally the record scratch when everyone turns and looks at you and wonders, how did I get here?
Yeah. So, I get up to follow. I turn around when Dahani is, mentioning, her view on it. And as I turn back around to look, not only do I lose track of them, but I also basically fall. Not because I'm tied to the chair or anything. I just kind of misjudge my steps, and I fall essentially onto the table. Probably hit someone's food, on the way down, and I am on the ground with some food all over me.
You're on the ground, food on your face, a big disgrace.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, everyone has certainly noticed you, Shaka. And Leto actually stops and comes over and pulls you to your feet and kind of shakes you a little bit. What's the meaning of this?
Oh, thanks. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh no, that wasn't a gentle help up. It was he grabbed you and scruffed you like a kitten.
Oh.
What's the meaning of this?
I just lost footing. It's okay. It's okay. And then Shaka kind of winks at Leto and says, it's okay. I'm sorry, guard.
Why are you winking at me?
I'm so sorry. Please don't harm me. I'll stay in line.
Leto's just staring at you. And he's wondering what you were up to. And he just literally shoves you back on a bench. Watch it. Because there was no need for you to hop up after us. I'm not foolish. You've already gotten a reputation in your short time here. I'd be careful if I were you. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, guard.
He flares his nostrils and he's thinking real hard about whether or not he wants to just give you one good mollywop before he turns around. He's like, that would be yes, sir. And the next thing is going to be stop hitting me, sir, if you don't mind your manners.
Sir.
Go back to whatever it is you were doing. I have business with your friend.
Okay, sure.
So Leto turns around and he nudges Rinn forward, because I'm guessing everyone's kind of doing that. Do we move? What do we do? Oh boy. So yeah, you've made a spectacle of yourself, Shaka. Not to anyone's help, or to your chagrin, certainly. So you've got a few hours at least of non-freedom left. What is it you wish to do?
I want to kind of scope out this area where we're planning this. Like, is that accessible? Can I just get kind of a lay of the land?
No. Basically, you are going to be relying on one of Valish's guards he has in his pocket to leave the area unlocked. Because it's not like you would normally be able to access this area.
Okay.
Especially as prisoners.
Right. Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna. Shaka feels pretty useless. He's just gonna kind of mill about and wait for the call. Wait for the signal.
You're not gonna get cleaned up?
That's probably a good idea. Since he has food on him. Yeah.
And,
so like, what's up?
And you have the keys.
I do have the keys. But everyone says I can't go back to my cell, so but he is going to just remind everyone, like, that he has them. But he says, "Hey, I'm just going to go to the bathroom to clean up."
Okay.
Can't you give us our keys though?
Like right now?
No, not right now, but like, can you just you don't have to hold them all. We can all have our keys.
How? Yes, but I have to do that pretty discreetly.
I mean, it's a unisex bathroom. No one's going to notice.
Yeah. How about we all go in the bathroom?
Let's all go to the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We can.
Oh, now we go finish our meals in the bathroom. Okay, cool. When it's your idea, it's not weird. Cool.
Well, we're just honoring we're honoring you on our last day.
Don't patronize me. Gazrick picks up his lunch tray and just walks off into the bathroom.
Yeah. So we shouldn't go in at the same time though, right? We should go in maybe, I don't know.
Gazrick's already in the bathroom. He's already there.
Yeah. So let's try to go in a minute apart. So it doesn't look like we're a group going into the bathroom. And then I'll give us our keys, and Rinn, hopefully he'll be in the cell when I go back. So we don't need an additional key for him. So
speaking of Rinn, you were being somewhat gently urged down a corridor toward what looks like more, almost you'd swear it was dorm type rooms, not cells. Leto's being quiet, but he is nudging you toward these rooms. What is on your mind, or what do you say, if anything?
Is this where you're gonna kill me?
And Leto just he actually stops and he gives you this kind of what? Talking about?
I don't know. It's I've been having a weird feeling about this whole situation. And now you're leading me into this area by myself I've never seen before. And if you had the chance to do it, you could do it now.
And he's just giving you a look like, do I look like a cold-blooded murderer to you?
I don't know for sure. You have been a very interesting character to get to know.
Well, I dare say you've not done anything to actually get to know me. You've done everything possible to make my life and my job difficult.
Yeah, that's why I feel like this is it. This is where you're gonna it's gonna cut me off. Literally.
And Leto just folds his arms and stares at you from across the hall. He's like, if you really thought I was going to kill you, why would you come with me?
because I feel like this is the only way that we can get out. For my friends, if I just follow what you say and not cause any trouble for them.
He rolls his eyes. He's like, just follow me.
Okay.
And he's so exasperated with you. And he opens the door to what actually is a very well-appointed room. It's a much nicer, softer bed. There's a dresser. There's candles lit. There's a carafe of nice red wine. Cool, or not cooling because it's red wine. And there's a platter covered in the center of this low table. It's actually a very nice room. It looks like it would be a guest room if some official that runs prisons was visiting. Definitely nicer than a guard would get. Maybe something like Warden Duncan would get to have for his personal quarters because, you know, he's the warden. He never really leaves prison. So yeah, this is a much nicer room than you would have expected, Rinn. So, what do you think?
I mean, it's nicer than what I expected. But I'm still very curious of what your plan is.
And Lito is just so, like, exasperated with you. He just kicks the door shut. He does lock it. And he shows you the keys before he puts them into a pocket. How have you... Well, first, I'm going to get a drink. You do whatever you're going to do.
I can't do anything, so I'm going to sit here.
You can walk around the room. You can eat food. There's wine. There's a nice bed.
I want to be on my toes, so I don't want to involve myself in any sort of drink at this moment.
It's not poisoned. It's just wine. You know that wine is sometimes safer to drink than water around here.
I'll take my chances by not drinking the wine.
By Pelor, I swear. He just gets frustrated. Like he visibly lets his frustration show. And he actually pours himself some wine and sits in a chair at the table. He's like, well, you're just going to stand there and stare at me like a brick?
The agreement was that we were supposed to just look like we had interest toward each other in the public. We're not in the public anymore. So I'm going to sit here and you can do what you need to do.
I wasn't going to do that, but you could at least act graciously for a nice place to hang out for a while.
Thank you. But I can't stay very long since I'm trying to get out of here.
Trying to get out of here?
Of your way.
Oh, no. You said out of here. I'm not in your way, currently. I'm at a table on the other side of the room. And aside from the locked door, there's nothing keeping you here. So please tell me more about getting out of here.
Nothing. I don't have anything to say.
All right. Well, then, I could do this all day. I have the keys, you don't. And until you decide you want to talk to me, we can sit here all night.
Gladly. I will sit here gladly.
And he just continues to drink wine and ignore you and wait for you to talk. We're going to go back to everyone else, because now it is getting toward that hour of meeting up with Valish. You all have your keys. There's nothing keeping you from getting out, because true to his word, there are no prison guards out and about on your floor. You are free to move about Revel's End. Please do so at your convenience.
I definitely hop out of my cell, look down, and hopefully see Tahani's head poking out and like Shaka's head poking out as well. Yeah, and I sit down in the hallway, be like, okay, I guess we make our move.
Hey,
Where's Rinn?
Rinn's not here.
Wonder where he could be.
Is he still with Lito?
I guess, but we're about to go. Where is he?
You know, if he's with Lito, it's probably fine. He's going to be on his way back. Then Lito will bring him, because Lito works for Duvessa. We know he also works for Duncan. He's clued in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I can trust him to get out of this. But I'm still worried. But yeah, we just need to. I mean, we need to head to the spot and get this done. But I don't. Unless we hear from him, hopefully we'll. You know, maybe he's there already. You know, maybe he's with Lito and.
Yeah, he could already be out.
He has that guard access. He got him there already.
Let's. Might as well head out, and he's not here, right?
No, I haven't seen him since lunch.
Are you all going to get moving soon? Because while there are no guards currently, that doesn't mean they're never coming back to your.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this is a walk and talk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, because I was like, y'all just chilling
We're
in the hallway.
We're sorking.
No, we've sat in the middle of the hallway. We're having tea. We're just waiting for it. No, we're walking the talk.
Look, when you do not elucidate your point, I can only go by what you say.
Thank you for asking for clarification. We are sorting for sure. Making our conversation across. Yeah.
Making your way downtown.
Yes.
All right. True to Velish's word, you are not obstructed. You get to the meeting point, and everyone's there but Rinn.
Is Lito there?
I'm gonna roll for it. No.
Okay.
All
right. Shaka's definitely. What did Rinn tell y'all anything about what's going? Like what's up?
I thought you knew what. Don't you stay in the room with him? Wouldn't you?
I do. But he's. You know, when we saw him go off with Lito,
like trudging in the snow, still
Right.
chatting as we get closer to Valish.
but I know this is our. I don't know. But I know that this is our only shot to get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like this. I don't. Like, he didn't come back to the cell at all.
Maybe he's already out. Maybe that was part of the thing. Lito's not here either.
No, he's not here either.
So maybe he got out. Maybe Lito got him out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we got to go by that because we got to get this moving like now, like as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I hope we're right. All right.
Yeah, nothing.
All right.
We would have known if it was something else.
All right. So I look at Gazrick and say, well, let's start the fight, start the spell.
Yeah, we stand in front of Valish and say, all right, so we've got everyone here. I wanted
Can I
to
ask who?
Yeah.
Can I ask who's with? Like, who are the
Yeah.
people with Valish?
Exactly.
Leon, who does look a little better, he's clearly taken some time in the infirmary. He's still got a bit of a bruise from that tray, but looks like him and Valish have worked things out. And then Valish has a tall, dark-skinned gentleman next to him, and depending on how much you give them a look, you notice that Valish is holding his hand. And The gent is, like dressed like he should be out and about in town rather than jail. It looks like he dressed to leave. And, he's got tight braids, a small knapsack around his body, and he just is staring at all of you like he cannot believe that you're really going to finally get out.
So there's those three. There's currently us three, so that's 6. Yeah, I turn and I look at what's it called? Veil, I should say. All right, do you have the holy water?
And he pulls it out, and he looks around. He's like, "Oh, that's right. Leto said he's going to take care of your friend. He kept him a little long." And
okay, well, if Leto's got it, yeah, all right. That is good. Thank you for confirming that. That's good to know.
We were worried.
We were a little concerned, but Shaka, if you do the honors, I need a little bit of fire.
Sure. So Shaka's fire. So the fire spell that Shaka has. Oh wait, no, he has a secret flame.
I can also do Druidcraft to make a fire. Yeah.
Because like my only fire spell is only results. It's a reaction.
You startled Shaka.
Yeah, so like you'd have to hit me or something. And I can react with.
I mean, the way you've been acting, I'm surprised nobody's hit you.
Yeah.
But
if you can't, I'll just use Druidcraft then to generate a little bit of a flame. And then begin casting Windwalk, which the casting time is a minute, and I just need to be able to see people. And its duration is 8 hours, so you should be able to make it in enough time. This comes with me asking the question I've been dreading the most, Tanya. I cast for 60 seconds. Does anything happen in that 60 seconds?
I'm thinking real hard. I'm like, you know what? Season finale, I will be benevolent. Nothing happens.
And so I cast Windwalk, and I see it's an involved process of the fire sort of wreathing over one hand and the water sort of collecting in the other, and through it eventually the final bit of it is me pouring out the holy water on, I take the fire and I throw it above us, and I throw the holy water into it, and it released this puff of steam, and the steam envelops all of us, and next thing you know, we are in our gaseous forms.
That's cool as heck. I think while you're asking this, while you're doing this, I ask you, you told us how we become, how do we not be missed anymore?
I explain. You all have the ability. You can, in mechanical terms, it takes an action. You can revert to your. You only can do 2 things as his gaseous form: your dash, which becomes a regular action, or reverting back to your normal form. Okay. And reverting takes a minute. And if you are in flying when you start to revert, you descend 60 feet per second until a minute is over, and if you don't land after a minute, you fall the rest of the
So basically,
when you revert, you get a free feather fall.
You get a minute of gradually becoming corporeal again, and then Okay.
So basically, you'll hit the ground and be you.
Yes, absolutely. At a moment in time, and then I in the space. We begin moving, and if necessary, I have a spell called Control Winds, but I don't think we'll need it. I think we'll be okay to just sort of move
away. The natural breezes, because it is Icewind Dale and Bryn Shander. The currents get you far enough away so by the time you are no longer missed, you are far away from Revel's End, and surprisingly, you are walking distance from your tavern.
and so
Ooh.
carrying the drafts. I imagine it does not take 8 hours, but I'm sure it's some sort of time away. I land, revert to human form, and sort of look. I think it's hard to see everybody else because they're still like in their gaseous sort of state, and like as a gas to a gas, we could kind of make each other out easier when
Mhm.
we were there. But now it's like the light is refracting weird through people as they're moving. But yeah, then everyone, I imagine, lands after. And I look at Shaka and Tahani, make sure that they're okay, and then look at Valish and Leon and their buddy.
Do we stop in Bryn Shander, or do we go all the way back to Waterdeep?
Well,
what is the
remember
You gotta get on
Duvessa.
Devessa, right? Yeah.
Right. Well, and also remember Duvessa kept your stuff while you were in prison.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I think we stop in Bryn Shander first and inform Duvessa that we have completed our mission.
So you
haphazardly.
actually, so you go in, you're shown to Duvessa's room, her sitting room, and you walk in and see a familiar face along with two strangers. And that's where we're ending the season.
Oh shoot.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wow.
Mm,
And that's where
Okay.
we end. Okay.
Yeah.
We're out.
We did it.
Did it.
You barely
I mean-
escaped.
Apparently did
We
it.
solved it. We played it by the skin of our teeth the entire. By the our beaks the entire time, and we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we let out a known criminal.
No
You-
criminal. They're
At least two.
Yeah, exactly. At least
Yeah.
2 known criminals.
Well, you also became a known criminal, Shaka, so
Well, technically, Gazrick was always a gnome criminal.
true.
mhm.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was season 8, y'all.
Yeah.
They got out by the skin of their teeth or the mist in their sails. I don't know. But yeah.
did it.
And you'll see who the familiar face and the two strangers are very soon.
Hmm.
Maybe. We may tell you on Twitter. We may not. We may just leave you hanging for a while because we're evil. At least I'm evil. But so this is our Q&A portion. What do you want to know?
Questions.
I'm sure you have them.
Let us know as our characters. We'd love to answer them, especially since, after this, we're going to be on break for a little bit. So this is your last chance to get some of those theories generating.
Yeah.
And also, like me, I have a lot of questions anytime a session or a campaign arc ends where I'm like, but what about this person? What about that?
Yeah.
Was
And,
Susan
like-
really just a cook? Like, what was her deeper vibe?
And like to make it easier for us to see,
Uh-huh.
put question.
Oh, like
first.
Fairbear's got that. Like a question for Tahani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was on the charcuterie board?
So on this particular charcuterie board, there was pepperoni, there was prosciutto, there was a couple of soft cheeses and like one hard cheese, and there's like some olives, and there was a little bit of dried fruit on this charcuterie board, so it was absolutely delicious for the eating. It was very good.
Hard and soft cheeses. That's great.
Yes.
So there's a question from Zoo Tavern. Question for everyone. What are your Faerun equivalent Yelp reviews of the prison?
Ooh. Gazrick gives it 3 stars. Food was bad. Lodging was bad. Bathrooms immaculate.
2.5 stars from me. The chapel did not have holy water, which is frankly insulting, and no room to fly.
Yeah, I'd say Shaka gives it 2 stars. No single accommodations because he's in with Rinn, and also people falsely accuse you of things randomly.
That's not the establishment's issue, though.
Mm.
That was a you being a narc issue.
To be fair, this is a Yelp review, which is not always.
It's the only one that gets a comment from the webmaster.
Yeah, exactly. This is what the webmaster says.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
Like
do
flag
everything we can at a Revel's End. We apologize for your discomfort.
Wow.
What about you, Rinn? How would you rate the prison?
I would rate it a 3. Mainly because we were able to kind of walk freely in certain areas, and it was a lot more. It wasn't as restricted as I was expecting, but it's still prison, so we got to keep that 3 there.
Yeah, we're gonna skip D&D Jordan Lee's question because we do take questions just as our characters, not as players or as ourselves. We may answer on Twitter though, so someone grab that question for me if you don't mind. One of our mods, thank you. And then last question for Shaka. Will you be exploring further uses for your purely reactive fire magic? And do you have a preference for who does the mandatory attack?
Who do you want
Definitely
to
not
punch you?
Dahani.
Do you want Tahani to punch you? Do you?
I do not, because she'd be like, oh, I do a single punch. Oh, then I get a flurry of and then I get
these
35
key
actions.
points. I just can't help but spend them.
No, I would want tiny Gazrick to punch.
Correct. My strength is 8, so you're making the right call.
Yeah. So I'll be exploring some further uses. I've used it previously. I burned my own leg way early, and I think the first season, when I tried to use it on something that was attached to me. And I've used it on a few other enemies. So yeah, trying to use it here and there.
I just realized Gazrick's unarmed strike is 0. I do 0 damage with my punches.
Wow.
Check annoy people.
Are you sure it's not just like you don't get a bonus and it says 0?
No. It says my hit is +3, my DC. Damage, it says 0. But
wow.
It's not even a die, it's just 0.
Wow. I'd never seen that before.
I think it's probably just like it's so negative that whatever bonus I would get just always equate. It's either negative or 0. 0 is the best I could have done on that roll.
Wow.
It can't be a negative. Like you can't give them health.
I mean,
that's the character. I punch you for 5 hit points. Wait, you take 5? No, you get it back. What do you think I am?
I mean, that could be an extreme cleric. That's your level 20
that's a really
cleric.
Cool idea. Yeah, a cleric monk
who heals by hitting.
Yeah.
And our last questions, but go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I was gonna do the question. Question for all from Fairbear. How do you think Celise would have reacted to all the prison shenanigans? I do not want to explain this to Celise when we see her next, because I just don't. I would rather she never know about this.
Yeah, I feel like Shaka's going to offer that we make some kind of pact. Like whatever happens at Revel's End stays at Revel's End. I mean, we still think that Rinn is somehow coming, right? Because we think that Leto is. So we are like, like Rinn will come around, and we'll just tell her that we just were, off investigating some crime.
Smooth sailing. It was it was just like, we took everything that Celise taught us and put it to good use.
Exactly.
So you learn nothing from Celise is what you're saying.
I don't know. Dipples and dice is right. There's a moment where Gazrick explains eating in the bathroom and how it truly was the best choice of their time there. But I don't know how much of the rest comes up. I also, if I'm just being frank, I don't know how much we get to tell Celise. I don't know if Celise finds out by another method, and we just have to deal with it. It's like when you're hanging out and at a friend's house and you do something stupid, and their mom calls your mom while you're away, and you come home to her already being mad at you for for what you did. Yeah.
Well, you'll find out.
We'll find out.
Maybe. I don't know. But speaking of which, I saw your question, Nasenbi, and I don't quite understand it. And since we're actually a little overtime, really, but there is no one right behind us anymore because there are no shows this week on D&D. It's time. We're going to save that one also maybe for Twitter and or Patreon because I don't quite understand what you're asking. But we have announcements as usual at the end of a season. LaTia, would you like to do the honors or shall I?
No, I will. This is exciting. Everybody, right? Here it is, the moment you've all been waiting for. The Rivals. Oh, no. The Rivals will be back for season 9 sometime in 2021. So do not worry. You will get to see what comes of this little adventure with me at the helm. So I will be the DM for season 9 of Rivals, taking over from Tanya. We will be back. Oh yeah, we do know the date. So January 31st is our first episode of season 9 of Rivals. And yeah, we'll be picking up right here. I'm very excited. I have so many plans for what we're gonna do, and I can't wait to show you all.
I am afraid.
Oh, don't be
Same,
afraid.
yeah.
Don't be afraid. Am I doing the rest of the announcements, or are we?
No, I think Brandon has something to say.
Oh, okay. Well, hi everybody for watching and listening. Well, I guess I have a quick announcement. So after 2 years of being on Rivals of Waterdeep, this is my final season with the group. I made that decision I think at the beginning of the season that this would be the last one.
The middle.
I've done, or it was in talks. But yeah, I've enjoyed my time on the Rivals. This is my very first D&D game ever. So I want to thank everybody who's all the cast, past and present, for just having me involved in learning D&D for the very first time. But it just kind of felt like it was a good time for me to step out and have the Rivals crew continue to go on. And Rinn is still in jail, so he's not dead. He could come back. But yeah, I would just want to say thank you to everybody who's been supporting the show. Yeah, it's been a weird day, especially when I woke up today. It was just like, yeah, I knew this was coming, but I'm just really proud of how far the show's come, and there's more coming to the future. So I might come back for a guest spot. So yeah, thank you to everybody for hanging with us and dealing with Rinn shenanigans and all the crazy stuff that
We will miss your random murders.
The random murders and all that. But yeah, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, man. Thanks
Try
for
not to
hanging in,
cry.
man.
Yeah.
You're supposed to cry. You're supposed to cry.
Oh,
Damn it.
I told myself I wasn't going to.
No, I mean, like, we'll definitely miss you, man. Like 80 episodes, man.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, giving us 160 hours plus the other shows that we've done. So definitely thank you for your contributions, man. It's been great. Obviously, we'll still see you on your stream.
Yeah.
Of course.
And like you
I'll
might
still be
guest
around.
and that kind of
Good.
stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been cool, man. So thanks for adding your panache to the Rivals, man.
And thanks for saying yes when I approached you with this wild idea.
Yeah. It's so crazy. It was that long ago. It doesn't feel like it. It was like it was just yesterday.
To be fair,
June
2020 is the 5th longest bit of time that has ever existed, right? Like it's 50 years in itself.
Yeah, this is actually episode 200.
Oh my gosh.
No, don't even joke that way. Don't even joke that way. And
Let's get there naturally.
yeah, and so I will take the honor of our last announcement, which with Brandon leaving us for for leaving the D&D nest. We send him on his way with goodies and dice and such. We have not one but 2 new cast members joining us for season 9. I'm very pleased to say that Eugenio Vargas and Brian Gray are joining us for season 9 of Rivals. We don't know their characters yet. We don't know who or what they're playing, but we'll do an announcement on Twitter later. But if you see them, please say congratulations. I think Brian's in the chat. I don't know if Eugenio's here.
There he is.
Yeah, he
There's
is.
Brian.
Yeah.
But yes, they're joining us. We will be back to a 6-person cast as well for season 9. Pleasantly Twisted is going to work on overlays. We will have the same artist. God, I can never pronounce it. Flying Circus. It's spelled very
It's
strange.
Flying Cirrus.
Cirrus.
Oh, I'm glad you know that. I've always
Yeah.
pronounced this Flying Circus.
It's like a cloud, like a cirrus cloud.
Actually, it's either cloud or squirrel. I've asked her this before.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
before.
Shauna's hard at work on updated art, and Celeste will have a new look as well, as she's multi-class now, and is not the so cheerful paladin you left at the end of season 7.
She was so cheerful.
Cheerful.
I don't know what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do without our cheerful Celeste?
Sarcasm, do you know it?
Right.
But yeah, that's the end of our announcement. Unless anyone else has surprises before we do our outros.
Oh wait, didn't you, Shareef, want to announce?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I was gonna do that during the outro, but sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we wanted to give y'all some additional stuff on the stream starting in the new year, outside of the show. So on Tuesdays, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., we'll be doing a video game stream. I will be heading it up, but like hopefully we'll have other people join in either in the chat or playing. And we'll just be playing some video games, every week. So it's usually easiest for me to hook my Switch up and do it, but I'll probably also be hooking up my PS5 or my Xbox Series S
Ooh,
to
look at
my
that
capture
flex.
card as well.
That next gen life.
Yeah, it's a little hard for me to game on my PC and stream at the same time. So I don't know if I'll be able to do some PC games. I might try it out, but I had some trouble with that on my own stream. So So I will be heading up a gaming stream. So like you'll have our show on Sundays, and then we'll have the gaming stream on Tuesdays. So make sure to check that out. I know it's early in the morning, but hopefully people can hop in and see what's up. So
Yeah. And with this, go ahead.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm done. No, I was just gonna say that will be starting next week.
Huzzah.
5th.
Huzzah. All right, with that, I formally relinquish the DM's chair to LaTia, and this is our last outro for not just the season, but for 2020. So make it good, y'all. And we're going to start with Gazrick,
Oh, perfect.
a.k.a. Masood.
Hey, y'all. I'm going to be on Twitter and Instagram at Marudboy, MAHRUDBOI. You can catch me here. Well, you won't see me again until January 31st on Sundays with Ravels of Waterdeep. But I'll be around. I'll be doing stuff. You can check out my other shows. Keep up to date with all that important stuff. Here's the thing that you need to know. My birthday is January 8th, and I won't have the ability to remind you of that around that time. So just lock it away, tuck it in, and then shoot me a birthday tweet or make a comment about it in some way. That's just all you need to know. So
schedule your tweets now.
Schedule it. Put it in your tweet deck. Your Hootsuite at this moment. Yes. And that's it. That's all I got to say.
All right, Shareef.
Yeah. My birthday is June 15th. So set a schedule.
Let me get I'm going to put my planner out. So for May 15th, I need to start getting gifts.
Put me in the planner, But yeah, so I'm Shareef. You can catch me at ShareefJackson.com, SHAREEF, Jackson.com, or Shareef Jackson on all social networks. I did get out my 3rd equation play video right before the holidays. So I'm talking about the concept of inertia using our favorite buggy game, Cyberpunk 2077. So make sure to check that out at equationplay.com, or I have it as my pinned tweet on my account as well. So like make sure to check those out. They're just cool little, just like 1 minute kind of video. It's a very broad overview of a concept. And other than that, I raised some money for Brian's House, which was like a charity for teachers, along with Honey and Dice. So if you go over to her Twitch page, I don't think she put them on YouTube yet, but like you can see the VODs of the charity like D&D game that we played earlier last week, where we played as a musical band on vacation. It was pretty fun. Other than that, yeah, I'll be on the gaming streams on Tuesdays, so make sure to check me out there Tuesdays from 10 to 12 a.m. So have a great new year, everyone. LaTia.
Hi, everybody. It's me, LaTia Jacquise, is where you can find me across the internet. I not really doing much. If you want some fun stuff to watch, you can check out the streams I did yesterday. Played Among Us twice, raising money for both the James Beard Foundation with Lisa Penrose. You can find that at twitch.tv/Lisa Penrose, the VOD, and raising money for Color of Change or Color for Change. I don't remember the word in the middle there, but for Kwanzaa yesterday with Critical Bard. Very, very fun stream that we did. Raised almost $2,500 for charity with him. So you can watch those if you'd like some fun things and murder and betrayal. I have started streaming again. I did a couple streams this past week, and I might do some streaming on the Rivals channel this week just to kind of bump us up to affiliate before the new year. So I will let you all know if I do that. But other than that, I'm on Twitter. Come find me there and say hello and pester me about what I'm going to put the Rivals through next season. All right, Brandon.
So I won't be here for the next episode, but yeah, you can find me on Twitter at IamBrandonTV, or you can find me on Twitch at IamBrandon. Not much going on this week since holiday break, but I should be streaming this week since I don't have work until January 4th. But yeah, if you want to come and say hello to me, I'm around on the internet and all that good stuff.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself because Motherlands is done. It's really weird not to be ready to run off and go prep for that after 12 episodes and back-to-back shows on Sundays.
Take a bath, just enjoy yourself. Like it's vacation.
Vacation, but also a lot of winter cleaning because I have so many boxes behind me. Thus, the virtual screen. But find me on my channel. I'm gonna be doing a lot of streaming, either Sims, Division 2, trying to get through more Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and a beautiful game called Spirit of the North. No map, no UI, no nothing except you being a fox trying to stop whatever corruption is happening in the North. So played that for a while yesterday. But yeah, find me everywhere, Cypher Tier. I'll be back, not in the DM's chair. And we have to see what happens with Celise and the two strangers that she may have brought with her. Who knows? But this has been great. It's been interesting. It's been a challenge to be DM for a season. But we did it. We did it. Nobody died. Thankfully. Not from not trying.
That's not true. Rinn killed a random citizen in Bryn Shander with a fireball.
I meant among the crew.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. Anyone worthwhile. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh.
Some days I wonder why I bother with all of you.
You love us.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
And this is why I drink a lot during the day right after our show. But with that, I think for really real, we're done. We've gone way over time. Not that there's anyone following us because there are no D&D shows until we come back in the new year. But thanks, everyone. If you liked the show, please give well wishes to Brandon on the Twitters once he puts his tweets out. We're going to put a tweet out and update the profile as soon as we're done. And please congratulate Brian and Eugenio. And welcome new rivals. And goodbye, Brandon.
We will miss you.
We will miss you.
He's just leaving the show. He's not dead.
Yeah, but he won't be. He's not going to be in the Zoom
Yeah.
on Sundays.
Right.
I'm going to miss that.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Brandon.
All right. Don't go anywhere. We're going to raid Critical Bard. Because we've gone really over, I'm gonna skip our outro. And
Remember, our birthday is January 8th.
would you like to just drop your
want the world to
Amazon
know.
link?
I didn't do anything for my birthday last year. I was like, that's a shame. I'm just gonna vocalize it a little bit more this year.
Oh,
I'm
I
turning
see.
29. It's a meaningless birthday,
man,
but I'm just letting people know.
How about this? Why don't you set up an Amazon wish list
Oh no!
and share?
I just want people to send me random tweets. That's all I'm looking for. Nothing more.
Now I'm just gonna schedule. Here's the random tweet you wanted.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
For really real, we're leaving. We're setting up a raid. We're going to go raid Critical Bard. Creature Collectors is happening. Everyone be safe. Have a wonderful New Year's. Please stay in. Don't go anywhere. Wear a mask when you must go outside. Order everything delivery. Because I would like to see people at some point in 2021.
Please.
Again.
Please.
So see you in a month. Deuces.
Peace, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
All right. I've muted